स्फटिकरजतवर्णां मौक्तिकीम् अक्षमालाम् अमृतकलशविद्यां ज्ञानमुद्रां कराग्रे दततमुर्गकक्षं चन्द्रचूडं त्रिनेत्रं विधृतविविधभूषं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे. Then let's pronounce this three times. You can just follow after me. Om Namo Bhagavamurtaye. Mahyam Medham Pragyam Prayachya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye. Mahyam Medham Pragyam Prayachya Swaha. And now I'll pronounce both the lines together, and then you can follow after that. Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye. Mahyam Medham Pragyam Prayachya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye. Mahyam Medham Pragyam Prayachya Swaha. Okay, so now we will start all the 108 names. Om Omkara Simha Sarvendraya Namaha. Om Omkarodhyana Kokilaya Namaha. Om Omkara Nida Shukaraje Namaha. Om Omkararanya Kunjaraya Namaha. Omkararanya Kunjaraya Namaha. Om Nagaraja Sutajanaye Namaha. Om Nagaraja Nijalayaya Namaha. Om Navamanikyamadhyaya Namaha. Om Navachandrashikhamanaye Namaha. Om Nandita Shesha Maunindraya Namaha. Om Nandi Shadi Madeshikaya Namaha. Om Mohanala Sudhasaraya Namaha. Om Moham Sudhakaraya Namaha. Om Mohandakaratarnaye Namaha. Om Mohotpalanabhomanaye Namaha. Om Bhaktagyanabdhishitanshave Namaha. Om Bhaktagyanabdhishitanshave Namaha. Bhaktagyanabdhishitanshave. Om Bhaktagyanatrinalaya Namaha. Bhaktagyanatrinalaya Namaha. Om Bhaktamboja-sahasranshave Namaha. Bhaktamboja-sahasranshave. Om Bhakta-keki Ghana-ghanaya Namaha. Om Bhakta-kairavara-kendave Namaha. Om Bhakta-koka-divakaraya Namaha. Om Gajananadi-sampujyaya Namaha. Om Gajacharmojjwalakritaye Namaha. Om Ganga Dhavala Divyangaya Namaha. Om Ganga Pankila Sajjataya Namaha. Ganga Pankila Sajjataya Namaha. Om Gagana Ambara Samvitaya Namaha. Om Gagana Mukta Murdhajaya Namaha. Om Vadanabja Shriye Namaha. Vadanabja Shriye. Om वदनेन्दुस्फुरद्दिशाय नमः। ॐ वदनेन्दुस्फुरद्दिशाय नमः। ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। ॐ वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः। ॐ भुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। तेजभुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। ॐ विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः। ॐ विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः। ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः। ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः। ॐ दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः। ॐ दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः। ॐ दरहासजिताङ्गनाय नमः। ॐ दरहासजिताङ्गनाय नमः। ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। ॐ दरिद्रधनसेवदये नमः। ॐ दरिद्रधनसेवदये नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। ॐ क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। ॐ क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। ॐ नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। ॐ नागब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः। ॐ नागब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः। ॐ नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः। ॐ नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः। ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगद्वपुषे नमः। ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगद्वपुषे नमः। ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमोभानवे नमः। ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमोभानवे नमः। ॐ मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। ॐ मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। ॐ तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः। ॐ तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः। ॐ तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः। ॐ तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः। ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। ॐ तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः। ॐ तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः। ॐ यमसन्नुतसत्कीर्तये नमः। ॐ यमसन्नुतसत्कीर्तये नमः। ॐ यमसंयमसंयुताय नमः। ॐ यमसंयमसंयुताय नमः। ॐ यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः। ॐ यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः। ॐ यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः। ॐ यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः। ॐ मन्दारहाररुचिराय नमः। ॐ मन्दारहाररुचिराय नमः। ॐ मदनायुतसुन्दराय नमः। ॐ मदनायुतसुन्दराय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ओम मधुराधर पल्लवाय नमः
ओम मधुराधर पल्लवाय नमः
ओम मंजीर मंजुपादाब्जाय नमः
ओम मंजीर मंजुपादाब्जाय नमः
ओम मणिपट्टोल सत्कटये नमः
ओम मणिपट्टोल सत्कटये नमः
ओम हस्तांकुरित चिन्मुद्राय नमः
ओम हस्तांकुरित चिन्मुद्राय नमः
ओम हठयोग परोत्तमाय नमः
ओम हठयोग परोत्तमाय नमः
ओम हंस जप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः
ओम
हंस
जप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः
ओम हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय ओम मेरु श्रृंग तटोल्लासाय नमः मेघ श्रृंग तटोल्लासाय ओम मेघश्याम मनोहराय नमः
ओम मेघश्याम मनोहराय नमः
ओम मेधांकुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः
ओम मेधांकुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः
ओम मेधाफक्वफलद्रुमाय नमः
ओम
मेधाफक्वफलद्रुमाय ओम धार्मिक अंतर्गुहावासाय नमः
ओम धार्मिकांतर्गुहावासाय नमः
ओम धर्म मार्ग प्रवर्तकाय नमः
ओम धर्म मार्ग प्रवर्तकाय नमः
ओम धामत्रय निजारामाय नमः
ओम धामत्रय निजारामाय नमः
ओम धर्मोत्तम मनोरथाय नमः
ओम धर्मोत्तम मनोरथाय नमः
ओम प्रबोधोद्गार दीपश्रिये नमः
ओम प्रबोधोद्गार दीपश्रिये नमः
ओम प्रकाशित जगत्र्याय नमः
ओम प्रकाशित जगत्त्रयाय नमः
ओम प्रज्ञाचन्द्रशिलाचन्द्राय नमः
ओम प्रज्ञाचन्द्रशिलाचन्द्राय नमः
ओम प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः
ओम प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः
ओम ज्ञानान्तरभासात्मने नमः
ओम ज्ञानान्तरभासात्मने नमः
ओम ज्ञातज्ञादिविदूरगाय नमः
ओम
ज्ञातज्ञादिविदूरगाय नमः ओम ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैत दिव्यांगाय नमः
ओम
ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैत ओम ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैत दिव्यांगाय नमः ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैत ओम ज्ञातृज्ञादिकुलागताय नमः ज्ञातृज्ञादिकुलागताय ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताग्र्याय नमः
ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताग्र्याय नमः
ओम प्रणतार्थब्ध्यवाडिवाय नमः
ओम
प्रणतार्थब्धिवाडवाय ओम भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः
ओम भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः
ओम प्रपंचहितकारकाय नमः
ओम प्रपंचहितकारकाय नमः
ओम यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः
ओम यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः
ओम यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः
ओम यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः
ओम यज्ञादिदेवतामूर्तये नमः
ओम यज्ञादिदेवतामूर्तये नमः
ओम यजमानवपुर्धराय नमः
ओम यजमानवपुर्धराय नमः
ओम छत्राधिपति विश्वेश्वाय नमः
ओम छत्राधिपति विश्वेशाय नमः
या सॉरी ओम छत्राधिपति विश्वेशाय नमः
ओम छत्राधिपति विश्वेशाय नमः
ओम छत्र सामरसेविताय नमः
ओम छत्र सामरसेविताय नमः
ओम छंद शास्त्रादि निपुणाय नमः
ओम छंद शास्त्रादि निपुणाय नमः
ओम छलजात्यादि दूरगाय नमः
ओम छलजात्यादि दूरगाय नमः
ओम स्वाभाविक सुखैकात्मने नमः
ओम स्वाभाविक सुखैकात्मने नमः
ओम स्वानुभूति रसोदधये नमः
ओम स्वानुभूति रसोदधये नमः
ओम स्वराज्य संपद्यक्षाय नमः।
ॐ
स्वराज्य संपद्यक्षाय
नमः।
ॐ स्वात्मा राम महामतये नमः।
ॐ स्वात्मा राम महामतये नमः।
ॐ हाटकाभ जटाजूटाय नमः।
ॐ हाटकाभजटाजूटाय नमः।
ॐ हासोदस्तारिमण्डलाय नमः।
ॐ हासोदस्तारिमण्डलाय नमः।
ॐ हालाहलोज्ज्वलगलाय नमः।
ॐ हालाहलोज्ज्वलगलाय नमः।
ॐ हार्दग्रन्थिविमोचकाय नमः।
ॐ हार्दग्रन्थिविमोचकाय नमः।
ॐ श्रीमेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः।
ॐ श्रीमेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः।
ॐ श्री दयानन्दगुरवे नमः।
ॐ श्रीदयानन्दगुरुवे नमः।
ॐ श्रीमहेशानन्दगुरवे नमः।
ॐ श्रीमहेशानन्दगुरुवे नमः।
ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्त्वन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Let's chant verses 8 through 11. सोऽयमात्मा अध्यक्षरम्
सोऽयमात्मा अध्यक्षरम्
ओङ्कारोऽधिमात्रम्
ओङ्कारोऽधिमात्रम्
पादामात्रा
पादामात्रा
मात्राश्च पादा
मात्राश्च पादा
मात्रा अकार उकारो मकार इति मात्रा अकार उकारो मकार इति जागृतस्थानो वैश्वानरः
जागृतस्थानो वैश्वानरः
अकारः प्रथमा मात्रा
प्रथमा मात्रा
आप्तेरादिमत्वात्
आप्तिरादिमत्वात्
आप्नोति ह वै सर्वान् कामान्
आप्नोति वै सर्वान् कामान्
आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेद
आदिश्च भवति एवं वेद
स्वप्नस्थानस्तैजस उकार स्वप्नस्थान तैजस उकारः स्वप्नस्थानस्तैजस उकारः द्वितीय मात्र उत्कर्षात्
द्वितीयमात्र उत्कर्षात्
भवति भवति उत्कर्षात् just second भवति भवत् 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 Bhavati tva utkarshartsati havai. Utkarshati havai. I'll look at it one more time later on. Jnana samtatim samanascha bhavati na asya brahmavid kule bhavati ya evam veda sushuptasthanah pragyaha makaraha tritiya matra vitehe apiterva manoti hava idam manoti hava idagum sarvam apitischa bhavati ya evam veda. So the sense of the Upanishad in the verses number 8 through 11 is it's upasana para. Upasana para means that this is we should see that our steps in gaining the ultimate knowledge, and the Vedas also mirrors it, is that in some ways the Vedas have three portions. Sometimes it is seen to be two portions, which is karma and jnanam, but oftentimes the two portions are divided into three, which is karma, upasana and jnanam. And so we should see how that is useful in our life. What should we do? Because the objective is that the full fruits of this knowledge should be available to me right away. Right away means not I don't have to go through another life, if possible. If I have to, I have to. There's nothing I can do. But as far as possible, I should be able to reach the destination that I am really born for, which is total freedom in my life. No problem, nothing really touches me. This is the objective. So in reaching this objective, then three steps are involved. So one is karma yoga, and the second one you might call is upasana yoga, and the third one is jnana yoga. The Gita also, this is what we are going to study in the Gita also today in the 6th chapter. So there it is said that, so the karma yoga means that I need to use the natural strength given to me to act out in this life. Because, essentially, Ishvara has imbued in each one of us three Shaktis: Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti and Jnana Shakti. Okay, so in fact all of any sentient being that you see, whether it is human beings or an ant or a deer or a tiger, doesn't matter. Each one of us has been given. We should see this. You see the common things that are available to us. We have a lot of differences, obviously, because of karma and so on. But the common things are Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti and Jnana Shakti. So Kriya Shakti means that the power to do. So in each one of these three steps, what is taught to us in Vedanta and through the Veda Shastra is that please employ these three powers given to you in an intelligent manner. This is intelligent living. Please employ them intelligently because they are meant for you. As I was reading, Swami Maheshanji had given this commentary. He says that when Vashishta was instructing Rama and Lakshmana. So Vishishta was Dashratha had sent Rama and Lakshmana and all, I guess all 4 brothers, I'm not sure, to study with the teacher. And Vishishta was the teacher. And so Vishishta was instructing Rama. Rama was the main person. He was the avatara. The others were supporting him. He said, Rama, please understand, please see this very clearly, that Ishvara has made this creation for your joy. The purpose of the whole creation is vihara, means to have fun. And what happens is that we don't discover how to have fun. So we actually have some strange ideas about how we should be doing this and so on and so forth. And that is not correct. It is really vihara, and it is inherent in each one of us from the very beginning. Joy is the very nature of Atma. Ananda is the very nature of the Atma. And so nature of the Atma means that we should really see our own nature. And until we do, we are not happy about it. So Vashishta said, please see that the nature of creation is joy. And in order to see this, the instruments that we are giving you should be utilized in understanding this fact. And the 3 instruments are karma, kriya. The second one is ichcha, and the third was jnanam, knowledge. And it is the steps involved. This is what growth is all about. And so first of all, there is a physical growth. You have a baby that is not able to really fully understand things. And then you start to educate the person. There is a growth of physical growth. There is an emotional growth. There is a knowledge growth. So in doing this, the ultimate understanding of how to utilize these instruments for my ultimate joy are, number 1, karma yoga. Karma yoga means that given that my propensity is to act out, I need to act out in a way that it is not tightening the screws of my individuality. I think this is a very important thing to see. So basically what happens is, as we will see in the 8th and 11th verses also, the purpose of this whole thing is that you are born as an individual, of course. And as an individual, you think that's all there is. Whereas this limiting individuality is just a starting point. This is not the ending point. And if you look at the behavior of the people, they think that the individuality of the human being is all that is necessary, and I need to tighten it. I need to make sure that I'm secure. Artha, kama, and dharma. There is just my money, my people, my children, and I just need to make sure that in this lifetime I am protected. So don't bother me about other things, and so on. Whereas in fact what we need to do is to see that it's just a starting point. For children, yes, of course, take care of yourself, think about yourself. You cannot think about others and so on. But this is just a starting point. What you need to do is to loosen this individuality. You know, we often talked about a wave of the ocean. I think another example that we should really look at is a kind of like a murti made out of ice. Even you can even say just a sort of like a piece of a huge ice in Alaska that is broken off. And so if the ocean water has some consciousness, then this piece of ice will also have self-consciousness. And it says, wow, I'm different from everybody else. And of course it is melting. is disappearing, and it is not happy about it. And so it is said, hey, enjoy it. Why? Because you are going to become the whole ocean pretty soon. You don't have to really keep on becoming this. Don't be afraid of the fact that you're melting. In fact, you are not melting, you are merging. And the person says, no, I don't understand this. This is new. You're just making things up and so on. He says, no, this is a fact. Fundamentally, there is no difference between you as the ice piece and the whole water. No difference. It's just a way of looking at it. Therefore, the human beings, in order to show the growth, says, don't loosen the other way around. Don't avoid loosening this pinjara, this cage that you have around it. Then begin to see that you are the whole thing. And the person says, I don't understand what you're talking about. What? So begin to do this through karma, number one, where you don't tighten the screws to yourself. When you do karma, not as a yoga, you're tightening the screws. You're sort of making sure that, it's kind of like nails in a coffin that you are in. Whereas if you start to do karma, where you're just doing it for the joy, and let Ishvara take care of the phalam, all of the fruits and so on and so forth, and just be with the whole world, just be in harmony with it. This is the karma. And so this is number one. Then comes upasana. So upasana means this is the utilizing the second instrument that you have, which is ichcha, which is I have some desires. Where should I direct my desires to? If that is an instrument, either you can utilize the ichcha for tightening the screws or in loosening the screws. And in loosening the screws, because here knowledge is also important, because I won't loosen the screws until it is explained to me what's in it for me. You see, I won't really loosen it because I'm a poor person. I don't have much, and I want to protect what I have, because you're telling me let go of it. How can I let go of it? So vidya, jnanam, is very important, but the jnanam is not clear to me. It looks like highfalutin ideas about, Jiveshwara Aikyam and so on and so forth. It's just on the paper. It doesn't really mean much for me. He said, no, this is what you need to do. This is what it is. Finally, you get a feeling that nobody is bluffing me. It is, in fact, this is the right thing to do. But I still don't get it. Then it is said, if that is the case, then you have to direct your ichcha towards loosening the screws. And the ichcha of loosening the screw means you have to see, don't you see, that your powers come from a larger power. There is, in fact, there is an identity between not the final nirguna, what your own swarupa is. See, this is where the word swarupa comes in. Even when if you want to see that your swarupa is infinite, you should see that your swabhava. Swabhava means your personality. Swarupa means the person. And swabhava means the personality, your mind, your tendencies, and so on. Even your swabhavas are consistent with the outside, with the whole. It's an intermediate step. Before you understand that there is only one Swarupa, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. But I don't get it. I am trying, but I don't quite understand it. Then fine, the thing you should do is to go step by step and say that the Swarupa may be one thing, but the Swabhava, my personality means all the things that I have, my thoughts, my powers, my body, my prana, everything that I am cognizant, anything that you are cognizant of is your Swabhava, is your personality. And so there is a certain personality around you. That personality is very consistent with the personality of the whole cosmos. There is, not only is there identity between your Swarupa and the Brahman Swarupa, but there is identity between your personality and all the entire personality of the whole Swarupa. And so try to see that and pray for it and go through the intermediate step. This is what is called upasana. This is upasana. That if you think that jumping to this very tall order of understanding Satyam Jnanam Ananta is too much for you, and so then various prakriyas are given. If you remember from Taittiriya Upanishads, the Panchakosha Viveka, exactly the same, another prakriya. Here the prakriya is the upasana para prakriya, where the individual personality and the cosmic personality are equated. Only by doing that, you will start to loosen your screws. Loosen the screws means that I am unwilling to even entertain the thoughts that there are something more than me, that you are the whole water. I can't even entertain it. But for you, to encourage you to understand it, you go through the intermediate step. And the intermediate step of the upasana involves, as you know, this is what we've been talking about through this. This is involved a forced superimposition. Forced superimposition. Just like we do the superimposition of asatyam on satyam. Now we have to do a superimposition of satyam on asatyam, truth on the untruth. And so doing a puja, for example, is a very useful instrument. This is, as I was saying, this is fundamental to Sanatana Dharma that is really not understood. And what it is that when you do a puja to a Vigraha, you can do it for tightening your own your own screws. You can say, hey Paramatma, please, my daughter is, please have her find the right, I want her to marry the right person. And please get her engaged. Or my son is appearing. You can do that. You can do that if there's no problem in doing that. But the same prayer can be utilized towards an upasana for gaining ultimate freedom. And that means that you now begin to have certain shraddha towards a metallic object which is just sitting there, but you impose upon it powers that you think are there but not clear to you. So this superimposition is what is called upasana. And so here in the Mandukya Upanishad, what is said is that this superimposition can either be done on a pratika or a pratima. Pratima means a physical form, and pratika means a name. And so there, the name Om is the best pratika you can find. The best. And it is not an arbitrary pratika. It is not just some kind of like a name that you gave which has no. It is a meaningful name which has been provided by Ishvara himself. He says, you want to do prayer to me? Okay. Then please chant Om. So why did you? He says, I'll explain it to you. Why? Because Om is a complete representation of the entire personality of the cosmos, which is also your personality. It is the entire, it is a true representation. It has been carefully done in order for you to do upasana. If you want to do upasana, then you please choose this word called Om. Why should I choose Om? Because it is a complete representation. So what do you mean by a complete representation? It means that if you analyze the constituents of your life, the constituents of any life, all lives, you will find that it has 4 phases to it. And so that is your personality. It is the person which is Turiya, and the personality which is Jagrat Avastha, Swapna Avastha and Sushupti Avastha. All 3 of them are the basic personality, and there is a one-for-one correspondence between each one of these. Your Jagrat Avastha and Virat, your Swapna Avastha and Hiranyagarbha, and your Sushupti Avastha and Ishvara. The very power of creating something is Ishvara. Is a one-for-one correspondence. So this one-for-one correspondence is something that you should invoke. You should invoke that. For you, if you are a student willing to find out the truth about yourself, and you're not able to, you know you're going in that direction, and there's some obstacles to it. The way to do that is to invoke this aikyam between the personalities of you and the whole cosmos. This is the purpose of upasana. So we already saw that the verses number 3 to 7 were for Uttama Adhikari, where jnanam happens. And it's not as though it's an accident, it's just that the Uttama Adhikari has gone through all the previous lives and is ready. And so when words are given, they strike home immediately. For that person, the upasana is not necessary. And for the Adama Adhikari, even the words are given, it doesn't mean anything. Swami Dayanand used to say that. So for example, you have when there are couples who meet and they're very fond of adult jokes because they've gone through a life, and so now how the spouses happen and this, that or the other, these are adult jokes. So now if there are kids like 5 or 6 years old, it's safe. It's safe to tell those jokes because those people will have no idea. When they become teenagers, then you should not be telling those jokes because they are beginning to understand it. So similarly, the Adama Adhikari means that you can talk about Vedanta, but nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. They won't really appreciate it and so on. Then comes a Madhyama Adhikari, which is really we come in most of the time. You may be Uttama, I don't know, it's very possible. But if most of us are this Madhyamadhikari, means we are neither here nor there. We know this is the truth, but we don't seem to find it. So for that, it is called, as we have sought, then verses number 8 to 11 are given that please pray. Pray means in the sense that please see that the identity between Jiva and Ishvara is not it's not suddenly it's going to happen to you. Because if that was the case, you would have been you are a Uttamadhikari. But there are steps that you should make it easy for yourself. And so this is the Aropa. This is the Aropa that we are looking at. So there, with that background again. So the word Om as a pratika as a worthwhile name for you. This is, as we said, that if everybody has to understand, let us give one name to Atma, to Brahman, to Parameshwara. What name should it be? It should be Om. Why? Because it is an accurate representation of each one of us. And so in that manner, it says that the Om consists of 3 letters, A, U, and M. And the first one is A, and the A, which is verses number 8, Saha ayam atma adhyaksharam omkaraha abhimatram pada matra matrascha pada. So there we saw that the pada means that the Atma, the personality of the Atma, if there is a personality, in other words, the personality is incidental; it is not intrinsic. But if the personality of the Jivatma, let's say the Jivatma, this is what we can relate to. Yes, I'm a conscious person, and I have this personality, and I have 4 segments of that personality. So those are called pada. So those are all given in verse number 3 to 7. Now comes the matra. So matra means this is the abhidhana pradhana. This is the name. Named was done earlier, and now the name. The name also should have these 4 segments that correspond very well with the padas. So matra and padas should all be corresponding exactly. So in that case, the first one is, and the 3 of them is akara, ukara, makara. And then the very content of it, which is silence, we will go through later on, is the 4th one. So then in verse number 9, it is said that please see that the word A corresponds to the first pada of the personality, which is Jagrita Sthana, which is the waking experience, my waking personality. Yeah, I think that's the way to look at it. This is my waking personality. I have really 3 personalities. Only one person, but 3 personalities. One personality is waking, one is dreaming, and one is sleeping. We should see this. We should see this should be very familiar to us. So this waking personality is equated to the letter A. So Jagrita Sthanaha Vaishwanaraha. So now, the word used here is not Vishwa, but Vaishwanaraha. So if you recall from our previous talks, the individual waker is called Vishwa. So you and I as individual wakers are called Vishwa, which is nothing but the cosmic waker. Cosmic waker means that when we are awake as Vishwa, there is a certain personality for us, which means that my eyes are open, my mind is open, my sense organs are open, and I can see the sthula shariras. I can relate to the bodies of the people. I can shake hands with you. We can touch each other. We can give a hug to each other. And we can see each other. We can hear each other, talk to each other. This is the waking personality. And this waking personality is exactly the same as the cosmic waking personality, which is Virat, which is Vaishvanara. So, in fact, I think we will see this, we will see this, the Gaudapada Karika, after these 3 or 4 verses are over, they'll talk about Vishwa. So the Vishwa, which is a waking personality, and Vaishwanara, which is the cosmic personality, are in one quad. It's the same thing. You are also an aspect of Vaishwanara. There I use the word aspect very carefully, because it is not part. The Vishwa is not part of Vaishwanara. This is an important thing to see, really. It took me a long time to clarify in my own mind and so on. Because when you say a part, it means that it is kind of like a bottoms up. Like bricks in a house can be called a part. You can say, what are the parts of this house? And so the bricks can set apart. You can all. So it's a bottoms up. Whereas the waves of an ocean are not a part of the ocean. It's an aspect of the ocean. Why? Because it's not as though you can, if you take that wave out, the ocean will still remain the same. There's no difference. It's infinite, so to speak. And so therefore, to call it as an aspect is the right thing to do. So similarly, the Vishwa and Vaishwanara, Vishwa is the aspect of Vaishwanara. You can see that the whole Virat is like an ocean. And I'm just a wave in it, and my content and the ocean's content is the same, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. This we will see in more detail some other time. But anyway, so the identity between Vaishwanara and Vishwa are pointed out here. That really speaking, the Jagrita Sthana Vaishwanaraha is Akara, is A. Why should it be A? Because it is Aptehe Adimatvat Apnoti Havai Sarvan Kamanadi Sabhavati Sa Evam Veda. So the examples were given. That one is that Aptehe. Aptehe means Vyaptehe. Vyaptehe means it is the word, the letter the sound is in all words of the sound. Ka, ka, ga. And then even when you put some consonants on it, and then you change it to E, and that also is a modification of The very normal sound when you talk is And so because of that, and similarly here also, Vaishwanara is Apte. It's prevalent everywhere. There is no portion of the cosmos which does not have Vaishwanara, because it is Vaishwanara. So therefore the two are corresponding. Another one is Aptehe Adimatvat. Adimatvat means that this is where it starts. Not only is it prevalent, but it starts with that. And in fact, the Jagrita experience, the waking experience, is the one that generates the dream. This is where you come back to. And as you will say, this is another aspect of looking at it. There will be other aspects of looking at it also. But see, this is given. Now here, one thing I would say, in fact, if you want, I was going through this. Yeah. I think that we may need to turn it on again. Yeah. Now I can. Okay, so while this is firing up, Adi Shankara, at the end of these three verses, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 11, asks a question. It's an important question. And then answers it. The question is, when I am doing the aikyam, the identity between the parts a, u, and ma, should I do it separately? See, because what's happening? Why can't it? That's strange. Smart view again. It sees it. It's connecting. So Bhashyakara raises a question. It comes at the end of the 11, but I thought I'll just explain it even now. Should I meditate upon a, u, and ma separately? Why? Because, we are talking about the Jagrat Avastha, Sushupti. The answer is not necessarily, in fact, no. And there is a verse that he gives it. Atra avantara phala vachanam pradhana sadhana stuti artham cha. This is the answer given. The answer given is that avantara phala. Avantara phala means, we will see that in the verse number 9, he says that sarvan kaman adishcha bhavati sa evam veda. Right? This is the 9th. So this is the result of doing upasana on a. This is the result. This is called avantara phala. Avantara phala means that a specific result which is not the main result. You see that? You understand this? Avantara means it's a secondary result. Secondary result means, what is the primary result? Primary result is that you are a little closer to understanding that you are Satyam Jnanam Ananta. Therefore, our upasana should lead to jnanam. That is the main reason. This is what we're doing. But in the process, you get some secondary things along with it. And here the secondary thing, which is called avantara phalam. The avantara phalam here is sarvan kaman, whatever you really desire in your own life, you'll have a much better chance of obtaining it. We went through this. Remember this last time? Just a refresher on that. So what we went through that was that what happens is that if you do things that are not prescribed by Shastra, then even if you get it, it gives you problems. So supposing you lie and cheat, you might get some money, but eventually it will lead to your problems in your life. So avoid that completely. Number one. Then out of the ichchas, kaman, which are okay to do, these are these are good karmas and good ichchas and so on. There also if you desire something which you are not capable of fulfilling, it will give you problems. Like, for example, supposing you have maybe about $20,000, and all of a sudden you say, I want the best Porsche there is, which costs $120,000, and you put a deposit down. You're not capable of it. It's give you a lot of problems. Buy a car which you are capable of running and you can maintain it. It'll give you sukham. So what happens is, by doing this upasana of the letter A, your ability to know what I have and to stay within the desires of that will be wonderful. You will not desire things that, see, the problem we have is that we think that I only have $20,000, but I really want very expensive cars. And so that gives you problems. The best thing is that but I'm not happy with it. Why shouldn't I drive a big Porsche or Maserati and all these fancy cars? Therefore, your desires will become consistent with what you can do. This is the meaning. This is all from Swami Maheshananji. Sarvan Kaman. And the other one is Avantara Phala is Adi Bhavati. Adi Bhavati means that you will become a well-recognized person in the society. It's not a big deal, but it's an Avantara Phalam. Okay. So here now, going back to this question that Adi Shankara raises, the answer is Atra. Atra means in this manner, in this subject matter. Avantara Phala Vachanam, the talking of, he says, okay, why are you talking about Avantara Phalam? I'm just giving you a commentary on this. Why is the Veda even talking about Avantara Phalam? It is because Pradhana Sadhana Stuti Artham. Pradhana Sadhana Stuti Artham means Pradhana Sadhana is your ability to see, yes indeed, the powers that I have are given to me because of the cosmic powers. Really, the cosmic power is really the main thing. I am just a recipient of it. It loosens the screws, and you become more cognizant that you and the cosmos are one and the same. This is the Pradhana Sadhana. Then the Avantara Sadhana is that you're just doing it on earth. Here Swami Maheshanji gives a beautiful example. He says that there's a dialogue going on between a father and a son. And the son is a very bright person. Very bright person. But he's not really studying well. And he's just wasting his time, chatting with his friends, doing emailing and stuff like this. So the father says, please, so he says, I don't know, I'll try to do it. His exam is coming, high school exam is coming. High school. Swami Maheshanji says matriculation. That was the example he gave in India. High school. So the father says, listen, if you pass the high school, do you know what? You will become a big shot. Big shot. He says, really? How? He says, you just pass, I'll tell you, everything will fall into place. So this is an idea where the Pradhana Sadhanam is becoming a big shot. Big shot means either a famous scientist or a CEO or something. But passing the high school is not going to make him a big shot. But without passing the high school, you cannot become a big shot. So his avantara phalam is you just do study based on what you're doing now. I assure you, once you get good marks, you will be accepted in all the big colleges. Your life will be wonderfully set. So similarly, here also, the upasana for u and ma is simply just passing the individual things. But the main thing is the pradhana sadhana. So now we can see a beautiful thing. Atra avantara phala vachanam. What is the avantara phala vachanam? We will see the other verses. Sarvan kaman adischa bhavati sa evam veda. That those who know this similarity between and Vaishwanara will be able to fulfill their desires, and they will be considered as Shrestha Purusha. Shrestha Purusha means that they will be well respected in the society. Those are small things. But it is meant to do pradhana sadhanam stutiyartham. So what it means is, even though you understand, in real terms, what does it mean? Let's look at it. I think if we do meditation and we see the oneness of it all, so this oneness could be done in two dimensions. There are two dimensions. One dimension of oneness is that at each step of the personality there is oneness. And the second one is that in terms of the intrinsic nature of myself and the cosmos, it is the same. That is the second dimension. So what it means is this: if I start to do meditation and my mind is not really focused on this, what I do is to say, listen my mind, just look at it this way. All aspects of my personality has identity with the personality of the whole cosmos. The mind says, how? Just look at your waking nature, waking swabhava, your personality of the waker. Don't you see that this is given to me by Vaishwanara, where the Vaishwanara also has sthula sharira and ability to see. That ability to see is there in everyone, in me also. So the mind says, okay, I'm slightly impressed. What else? Then comes the second verse, which is now see that the subtle world that we have, world of thoughts, is the same everywhere. Everyone has the same thought. And in fact, it comes from the overall cosmic thought, which is Hiranyagarbha. This is the second one. Then we will see the Sushupti. So there is identity at each step, which leads to an easier understanding that, my goodness, I see the identity. And that loosens the screws for understanding the total, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which will come later. So let's now go on to verse number 10. So it's very similar. He says, Swapna sthanaha taijasaha ukaraha dvitiya matraha. So the U is the second matra corresponding to the second pada. What is the second pada? It means swapna sthana, taijasaha. And so here, here, now look at this. In the first one it was Vaishwanara, which is global, which is a cosmic. Here it becomes Taijasa, which is individual. So they are used interchangeably. So he doesn't say Grihanyagarbha here. So it just means that doesn't matter. Both are the same. So here also it says that the second matra is the second pada. Second pada is the dreaming, and the second matra is U. And so now he gives an understanding of why is it U. Utkarshat. Utkarshat. So, in fact, Ishvara is kind of like a playful because the Utkarshat starts with U, and so the letter U is chosen as the second matra. What does Utkarshat means? Utkarshat means, I'll go back to it, I was looking at this. So Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha are one and the same, corresponding to U. Why? Because it is subtler. It's more pervasive. It is actually closer to you. Is why they say that, even if I lose some limbs of the body, as long as I have my mind, my thoughts, the ability to think, I am relatively okay. But supposing your limbs are all very healthy, but you lose your mind, then that is much worse. So it is subtler and closer to you, and therefore better. So this is called Utkarsha. Utkarsha means superior in that manner. Utkarsha. Also, it is Akarshat. Akarshat means the ability to extract information. It pulls. It has the ability to pull. So, in the waking state, you have some experiences that just happen to you. Some you have control over, some you don't. But then what happens is that the main aspects of that, which you are really bothered by, this is why if you analyze the dreams, they say that what really bothers you or what pleases you will get repeated in the dream. If it is a normal thing that you're not concerned about, it won't get repeated in the dream. But if you are really hung up on something, then it will appear. So the dream has the ability to extract the sense of the important things and put them into the dream. This is what is called akarshat. That's another reason for doing that. Then Swami Maheshananji, I've never seen this before. He says that U has a higher swara. It is uddata, whereas A has anudatta. How? I was just doing this when I was reading this. So, for example, when you say the is a lower swara. Like for example, you say You can do it loudly if you want to but it is one thing. When you add U to it, it becomes Om. Om. Even if you are doing it in the gentle ones, you'll say Om. So the word, the sound Om has a higher pitch than Swami Shanji says that they say that it is, the analysis has been done, that for that reason also, because it is uddata, not anudatta, it is utkarshat, than the Not terribly important, but nevertheless, this is very. Another thing is that the U is between A and M. It is in between both of them. And what do you mean by that? What's the advantage? Because it takes the power from both of them. How does it take the power? So the dream takes the power of making things as though they are real from the Jagrata Avastha. That ability, it gets it from the Jagrata Avastha. And from the Sushupti Avastha, it says, I don't know anything. In fact, it is just a fluff. The dream comes and goes, doesn't leave any scars on you. These are like a Sushupti Avastha. So these are the two gunas that it borrows from and then just goes around. So for that reason also, the U is called Utkarsha. Then the result. The result is that Jnana Santatim Samanascha Bhavati Na Asya Brahmavit Kule Bhavati Evam Veda. So you can say that he who knows this is treated equally by all and finds no one in the family who is not a knower of Brahman. We have a problem. I am not a knower of Brahma. Forget about my family. So what to say about that? But this is just an avantara phalam, which says that if you're really serious about this, and this all depends upon the kula, what kind of, where you were born. In those days, they must have been where the entire family becomes, and nowadays it's very difficult to do because of the Kali Yuga. But anyway, these are the avantara phalas for that. Not terribly important, but that's why they're called avantara, not the main pradhana, as we talked about earlier. Then in the last one, let's finish that off. Sushupti sthanaha pragyaha makaraha tritiya matra. So the third one, which is the personality of the sleeper, pragya, is equated to makara, to the letter ma, That is the tritiya matra. Okay, and then the question is why. So the Mandukya itself gives the answer: mitehe apitehe va. So mitehe means it gives the basic measure. Miti means measure. In fact, Swami Maheshananji says the English word meter comes from miti. And another thing he said was, this is interesting to see, what he said was that in the old days, when some grain was given to you, supposing you go into a shop and you want to buy some rice, what didn't happen was that you will have a scale where you will weigh the rice. It's just too much work and so on and so forth. What would happen is that you basically have a vessel. And the vessel is where the rice is put in, measured, given to a person, and then the vessel goes back to the original one. So the vessel is the one which is used as a measuring stick, not the weight. It's the volume. In this analysis, what is said is that the vessel that you are using to measure really is not a separate personality. You can put rice into it, you can put some wheat into it, some atta into it, some water into it, and so by itself, what you do with it, it doesn't matter. But it is just a basic, just a meter. So therefore, the sleep is the one from which the Jagrat Avastha comes out, goes back to sleep again. Swapna Avastha comes out, goes back to sleep again. In fact, technically it is said that if you were to go from the waking state to a dream state, you first have to pass through sleep. And if you were to wake up, supposing you go from dream to waking, that happens sometimes. That's perhaps more of an exception. But the basic measure is sleep. And the sleep is closest to Ishvara. This is the basic measure. We want to have the joy of, in fact, as we have seen this before, the sleep is the basic measure for Advaita. Dvaitam na vidyate yasya. There is no duality in sleep. And you are happy about it. Non-duality is the most pleasant experience in life. Any time you have a conflict with someone, it creates problem. But if there is love and affection, means there is no duality, there is no problem. In fact, the love in life is the symbol of non-duality. And the sleep is the ultimate non-dual experience. And that is the basic measure. But come out of it, then you do something else, you go back to sleep again. So these are various ways of appreciating. See, another thing very beautiful is that you appreciate that the sleep is prevalent in the whole cosmos. You find that whether the person is a billionaire or he's homeless or she's homeless, they both have the same sleep. A beautiful way to look at the identity between the individual and the cosmos. So one can even appreciate this. No matter what bodies we have, how much money we have, whatever our dukkha, and papa punya. To me, this was an amazing thing. You could be a serial killer. You may have difficulty going to sleep, but ultimately you will sleep. And when you are asleep, there is no difference between a serial killer and a punya. Same sleep. Amazing. So in all of these upasanas, the appreciation of the identity in the Jagrata Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Sushupti Avastha is highlighted. And so mitihi is the first one. Then the second one is apitehe. Apitehe means that it is very similar to, so the example of a vessel to give the rice means that the rice enters into this and is then used for something else. And the next time somebody comes in, the same vessel is used for measuring it. The same sleep is used for measuring it. So means that it is really the entry and coming out of it is all done with the vessel. And the vessel is the sleep. So let's try to visualize that in our mind. That is the common element. So each one of these, u, and makara. And another thing, so what happens is that the words, when you finish a sentence or a word, then you close the lips. You say something. So there is a makara in the very end. This is the ending of the word, and the beginning of each word. So the words also, the entire sound also comes out of and ends in. And so, for example, supposing you ask somebody, hey, what do you think of it? The person says, You're not saying anything, but there is some sound, which is So in that sense also it is apite, that you are entering and coming out of it. This is just some explanation by the Mandukya that is given. So anyway, I think we're pretty much done. Yeah, and then I already talked about the answers on this, that really you don't need to pronounce certainly ma, definitely not. And when you do the meditation, the only thing you could do is to look at the constituents of Om, which means the constituents of our life. That you could do in meditation. Because that is all consistent with the main sadhana, which is that fundamentally there is no difference between the cosmos and me. Even before you understand that the very content of the cosmos and me is the same, which is jnana-phalam, even the upasana at the personality level, as I was saying earlier, also there is consistency in all of them. So this is this section of the Upanishad that allows the Madhyama Adhikari to prepare herself or himself to the next stage, which will be the Amatraha Chaturtha Vyavaharya Prapancha Upashamaha, number 12. And with that, the Upanishad is over. Short Upanishad, 12 verses. But Gaudapada's Karikas continue to analyze it so that any doubts we have are removed. And that will go on. So the rest of the Karikas is amazing. So Raj and Meera have brought this book by Swami Paramarthananda, which I wasn't aware of, which is the Karika individually for each verse, the commentary, not commentary, just the word meanings individually, just like we have for the Bhagavad Gita. So he has it for the whole thing. This might be good to get, I think, for your iCards, even when we go through the Karikas, we will see that. So they only have 2 copies in the Salisbury bookstore. So we can actually ask if we can either get additional copies from India, or if they will give us permission to reprint it, just like we did for Bhagavad Gita. Remember those 4 things, the wire-bound things for the Bhagavad Gita? We did exactly the same thing. So if you are in touch with anybody in Chennai at Swami Paramarthananda, please go ahead and help me to do that. Otherwise, if you're not, if you want me to do it, I'll be glad to write to them and find out. So this will be good to get. So with that, I think in the next class or so, the basic Mandukya will be over, and then the rest of it will be the help that Gaudapadaji's give in terms of this. And of course you have the basic book, Gaudapada's book, which I don't have a copy of that. Yeah, this one. So even if we don't have this, this is, it will be better to have something like this. Okay, so just say a small prayer and then we can open it up for any questions. Om Swasti Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Varjanya Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Shobharahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukhabhat Bhaved Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Hari Om. In fact, I'd like to invite both Raj and Meera to come and just give a report on what's been happening in the Salersburg. You were there for how many, 6 weeks or so?
Just 4 weeks. Actually.
4 weeks?
Yeah.
Please come and
Just stand here.
That's you.
That's quite funny.
Oh.
I thought I'd try it out. You speak. She'll learn speak.
Nice music.
Good, bad, and ugly. Good old days. No, I think we took this opportunity to go and go to the ashram because ashram is a very special place, I think. And so that is the whole purpose, just gets a chance to immerse in the lifestyle, right? Just getting up early in the morning and whole day just immerse in the knowledge. I think the primary thing. And we learned a lot. 2 different swamis were presented. Instead of 1 person, we get 2. So 2 is better than 1, I guess. So we got a chance to, listen to different styles of teaching. One was doing Mandukya also, and he went through the Shankara Bhashyam word for word. So in a way, we learned Sanskrit also to break down these complicated Sanskrit sentences, but we tried to understand and improve Sanskrit also. So that is very good. And being intensive course, go through the pace a little bit faster, so our memory is better. We can retain some of this information. And now, with Vijayji is bringing out those Sanskrit words, very powerful. It makes us remember and kind of tie everything together nicely. Thank you. Yeah. And the Swamini has a very, very young style of teaching, which is quite humorous also. So that was very nice. And very personable too. Get to know her. We took her to a satsang and went to see Nandalala concert and things like that. So we didn't miss out on the concert.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
So we were able to see the concert also. And other than that, we met other swamis and other, students there. We missed, of course, some of the senior students there. But we had fun. I mean, we had fewer people, so more relaxed, choose the best rooms that I had, got less lines to go for food, and all that. So we had a good time.
So if you don't know what the ashram is like, so they have a really very nice setup. They have wonderful accommodation. They have sort of rooms for everybody, private. They have your own bathroom, shower, everything. And all the meals are served, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and in between. There's lots of food available. And then they have throughout the day, so in the morning we go for Abhishekam to the temple, and you can do the prayers and chanting. And then we start, after that we have breakfast, and then we go for the main classes. So the first class started at 8:30 to 9:30. And then after that, we had chanting. No, we had Sanskrit and then chanting. Then the next class, which was at 11:30. Then we have some prayers they do for after the class, and then we go for dinner, lunch, and then after lunch we have a break, a long break. So, or you can go for yoga if you want to. They have yoga in the afternoon. And then we have another class at 5 o'clock. So, you know, you have time to do laundry, you have time to rest in the afternoon. So it's very relaxing, but at the same time, you're totally involved in the teaching, because there's class after class after class, and it's not like once a week as we come here. It's on a daily basis. It is different, you know, you really feel like you're in that environment, and there's a kind of a freedom that you have. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about cooking, you don't have to worry about getting up and taking care of chores in the house. You can just be in that environment and take in whatever they're giving you, and it's complete immersion in the teaching. And that's what we love about going to the ashram, is that you're totally involved in it. And the teaching is great, you know, I mean, Vijayji is wonderful too. And we actually met somebody who came here for temporarily. She was, I don't remember her name now, but she was an Oriental lady. She came here to look after
Oh,
her brother.
yes.
And she went back.
Irene.
She went back and she met with us, and she said she listens to your classes, and she is just so thankful that it's now being recorded and broadcasted, so that she can still keep in touch, you know, with the teaching here as well. So that was good for us to meet with her, and quite a few.
Dinesh also. So he was very good.
Yeah, so a lot of people we met from previous years, and you know, and being together, you know, you're able to talk to people. See, you're there all day long, 24/7. So you get to interact with similar people who have got similar interests, which is difficult here. Sometimes we don't get to meet anybody.
Sorry.
And there, you can talk to people. So from that point of view, it was just a wonderful experience, and I would highly recommend anyone to go there and be in that environment and enjoy whatever we were able to enjoy. So it was great.
Yeah, it'd be nice if many of you that have not been to the Selasburg Ashram have a chance to go there. It's a very beautiful, it's our place really. I often say this is your second home that you don't realize. It's really our home, it's not anybody else's home. So highly recommend it sometime to.
And actually, another thing was that we were able to borrow their cars, and so we could go to the laundry, or we could go to the grocery, pick up a little few snacks if you want something different. So you know, you can come and go to the post office, and you know, banking or whatever you need to do. So from that point of view, they're very generous with all their facilities, you know. So even if you're coming from far, don't feel that you're just isolated, you know.
So what's the state of the new building?
Oh, the building, yeah, it's almost ready. Unfortunately, we couldn't have classes there, but it's a fabulous building.
It is.
It's really, really nice. You know, it's huge as well. You know, and they have.
So the kitchen is gonna be moved there too.
Yeah, the kitchen, everything will be moved there. Yeah, only the temple will be staying where it is, and that room.
So that's the whole temple area.
That whole area will just stay as that. They haven't decided completely yet what they're going to do. At first, they thought they might move the bookstore somewhere there. At the moment, nothing's been decided. So,
the
big
bookstore is
television
kind
screens.
of little too congested, you know.
yeah.
So there'll be in the big hall, there's several television screens, the huge dining hall also, lots of television screens.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's really very modern looking, very nice, and very If you know
And
him.
what's the news about Swami TV? Is he coming
Actually,
back?
he's
Or?
gonna likely, the last information we heard, that yes, he will be coming next year.
Okay.
So long as visa gets sorted out. Now that's
And his health, so there were two conditions.
Okay.
just fine print. Because apparently he had to get the fingerprints taken this year, his usual process. So if it doesn't come here, then there might be a little complication. But he needs to come and get it done this year. And so that otherwise, some complications anyway. So,
He has to come this year in 18?
well, yes, every 2 years, right? 2018, he needs to come just for a short time
Oh.
to get his fingerprints taken and go
I
back
see.
again.
I
So anyway, they're trying to figure out, because he's busy now, doing other things
see.
now.
Mhm.
So he has to find the right time. Not for
But
teaching.
one good news is that Swami Viditatmanandaji's program will be normal.
Right, he wrote.
Yeah, I saw your correspondence with him. So it looks like his knee is must be doing well enough. So we will expect him back at the normal time for next
That's
year.
good, yeah.
It'll be good to do. Okay, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. Bye.
So Vijay, I was a little confused. I
Uh-huh.
always thought that we go from waking to dream to deep sleep,
Yeah.
and then we come back to dream and waking.
Yeah.
Is that true?
So the sleep is the intermediate point. You have to pass through
Right.
that.
So you have to pass through sleep
You
all
can,
the time.
yeah.
No, but from waking, we don't have to pass through sleep to go to dream, do we? We go from.
Yeah, you do.
Apparently there's momentary time.
So you
Yeah.
go from waking
Yeah,
to
both
dream.
ways. That's the central state.